Welcome to the Accelerate Marketing Zone, powered by RME 360. Hi, Bob Bogus here again with a very special edition of the Marketing Zone, powered by RME 360. Today's seminar coaching video has been designed exclusively for Advisors Excel and their producers using the Accelerate Seminar Marketing Program all across the country. Your coaches today are George Villar, founder and president of RME 360, Mark Gaffney, director of marketing for Strategic Wealth Designers and co-presenter at the May 2013 Atlanta Journey. And our special guest today, Matt Dicken, founder of Strategic Wealth Designers, host of the May 2013 Journey in Atlanta, and a top 20 Advisors Excel producer. Now, let's send it to the studio with George and Mark.
Thanks, Bob. And Advisors Excel, welcome to the Marketing Zone, powered by RME 360. I'm here with George Villar, founder of RME. And George, here we are again. We have the great opportunity to share the stage together. I'll tell you what, since the Journey, Matt Dicken's Journey in Atlanta, May of last year, a lot of feedback has come back about seminars, and you said, hey, let's get together, make a video for AE, and do some coaching. So everyone, grab those pads and pens. We have a lot of great information coming across to you for the next 30 to 40 minutes. George, let's start it right now with talking about the state of the union of seminars, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I think it's important for advisors to get the right information.
Well, that's a great topic to start on, because a lot of advisors start doubting seminars. There's a lot of noise out there about seminars aren't working anymore. I see a lot of publications and trade magazines that are starting to wonder if marketing is still the same, getting in front of people with seminars. And I have to tell you, the State of the Union is very healthy. And there's two State of the Unions. There's the AE State of the Union, which is extremely healthy because they have a continuous flow and a rhythm. Their activity, Advice Excel has had a DNA for years of marketing, and their advisors are very active in the marketplace versus everybody else. So the State of the Union on the opposite side is there's a lot of misconceptions, you're right. But that's good, because if 2% of the advisors are doing seminars the right way, they're going to win at this. I still believe, Mark, that 98% are not understanding the true power of seminar marketing.
You know, George, and we're going to address that further in the show here, and we've got a great guest coming up later, Matt Dicken. Let me ask you about this, because the data is really showing quite conclusively that attendance at financial seminars is going up.
Yes,
is that what you're finding?
Yeah, and that's a result of a lot of things. Obviously, those who have used seminars for a long period of time, get it. They understand that consumers are not going to stop coming. See, seminars make sense to the consumers. That's why they're attending still after 18 years. However, there's a lot of noise, like I said, out there, and most of the advisors that are using seminars, unfortunately, are not understanding that with new topics and new economic concerns, the attendance goes up. We see a resurgence. I mean, look at Social Security. Look at Social Security topics that for attendance in the last 4 or 5 months. We broke all kinds of attendance records and had sold-out nights. The more that occurs in the economy, the more that people lose money, the more there's thousands of pre-retirees coming into retirement, and they have no idea what to do with their money. So you must have a unified message, and you cover a lot more ground with seminars. So the resurgence is a result of the activity that's been out there has cost a lot of people. Now, also, the media is really helping you. If you look at commercials at prime time or on the weekends, a lot of big companies are spending a tremendous amount of budget telling people, get a financial advisor. Let that media help you, because when your invitation arrives at a local venue, they're going to seek you out as a local professional to help them. Remember, people are confused right now, and the media's helping you by confusing them even more. And when you're losing money, you want a second opinion. The second opinion approach has been very powerful to get that attendance back up.
I'll tell you, George, I've always been a huge proponent that targeted direct mail, in particular, seminar marketing, should be a cornerstone or a foundational piece for all financial advisors. But there's another big thing that pops up here, George, and that's there are major challenges facing advisors today to do seminar marketing correctly. What are you finding to be those challenges?
Well, they stray away from the formula. Like everything else, things start getting watered down. Advisors want to cut corners. They hear the noise. Again,
Don't get away from the recipe.
You can't flounder. You have to stick to the ROI. Seminars have one unbelievable dynamic. They bring prospects to you face to face. I got to tell you, for 18 years, I've tried to find other mechanisms to do that. Very, very difficult. I still think today and forever, if you're a financial advisor, the best possible prospect, the most qualified prospect, is the one that we bring to you to watch you speak face to face. And I have to tell you, that is such a simple recommendation, but it's the basis of seminar marketing. And a lot of advisors make mistakes by picking the wrong partner, doing their own invitations, and assuming things. You know, I heard an advisor say the other day, George, I mailed in that area 5 times, so should I stop? I go, no, frequency is part of direct mail. So direct mail done correctly needs to have frequency. The message has to be constant going out to the marketplace, because if you stop, somebody else will come in and will take those prospects away from you.
All right, everyone, stick around. We got lots of great stuff to come. Grab those pads and pens once again. We'll see you right after the break.
You're watching the Accelerate Marketing Zone, powered by RME 360. And now let's go to By the Numbers with Mark Gaffney.
Hi, I'm Mark Gaffney, and this is By the Numbers. For the last 20 plus years of my life, I've had the great opportunity to be in the field of marketing through multiple industries. The last 12 have been in the financial services. I am a huge fan of this proponent. Please grab a pen and write this down. Great marketers make their decisions on great data, and that's what this segment's all about, data and the numbers. Last year, May in Atlanta, Matt Dickin was the host of The Journey there, and I had the chance to be a co-presenter with him. And in that time, we talked about all sorts of different data on seminars, but let me start with this one. I called Aaron Batchelor, and he's our marketer, and I said, Aaron, would you do me a favor and find out the following data for me? How many of the top 10 on the leaderboard at Advisors Excel use seminar marketing as a part of their overall marketing strategy? And then how many in the top 20 are also using seminar marketing as a part of their overall marketing strategy? The numbers are staggering. First, 8 out of 10 on the leaderboard are using seminar marketing, 17 out of 20. That's 85%. So remember that number. 85% of the top 20 on the leaderboard are using seminar marketing as a regular part of their overall marketing strategy. Folks, the scoreboard doesn't lie. If you're not doing seminars now is the time to look into it. Call your marketer, have them give you all the information for RME. Part 2 of this is, unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of people have strayed away from the recipe, the franchise of what great seminar marketing is. So we're going to talk about that a little bit right now. 5 years ago, I started working with Matt Dickin, and in that time, we put together a 5-year case study that we profiled at that journey, and I'm going to go through it with you right now. There were 37 metrics on that case study, and let's talk about that. Because the role for us is we wanted to really turn what we had into a dominant seminar marketing machine. Here is the 5-year case study we put together. And again, we did it for 3 reasons for all the advisors at AE at the Journey. The first one was, it is a true validation that seminar marketing can create amazing production numbers. 2, the study will allow other advisors to have an appropriate expectation level of what seminar marketing is and is not. 3, I also believe that this study shows, for the most part, national averages so that you can gauge your firm's production numbers by and know what you want to shoot for in the future. If you want to obtain a complimentary copy of this study, simply contact Patrick Schars at RME 360. Due to time constraints, I'm going to focus on 4 of these metrics, and before I get started, it is important to remember this essential premise of marketing, and I'm going to repeat it again. Great marketers make their decisions based on great data. So let's take a look at some great data. You'll notice here on line X that Matt's average sales per year over a 5-year period using seminar marketing were 118 new sales per year. On line Y, number of sales per event. Matt, you got to write this down, and you must remember this. Matt averaged 2 new sales per event. Why is that so important? That's so important because seminar marketing is about singles and doubles, not home runs. I've seen so many advisors get frustrated because they say, I only do 1 sale per event, or 2 sales, or 3 sales per event. Those are the national averages. That's what you want to be doing, and all of that will add up to magnificent and exponential results. Line AA, premium. Let's get right down to it. Over the last 5 years, Matt has averaged $12.7 million in production each of those years from his seminars. Now, for those of you that are beginner or novice, it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to be a seminar master in month 1 or month 3 or month 6. It takes a year of being consistent with your mailings and doing a good job with your presentation. And the masters that I've talked to around the country, they've said, hey, listen, I didn't get it by the 10th time or the 20th time. It really took 30, 40, 50 seminars under my belt before I really understood the magic of seminar marketing. And lastly, folks, ROI. Matt has averaged in excess of 480% return on investment over that 5-year period. 480%! That's by the numbers right there. And I like to joke with the advisors that I talk to and work with because I say, what do you promise your clients? 6 to 9%? When you do seminar marketing correctly, you should have a 3 to 500% return on investment. So you want to become a seminar master. Here is your success formula. 10 mailers. In each of those 10 mailers, you're going to advertise for 3 dinner events. That is a total of 30 events. I multiply 30 times $350,000 of assets converted, and you'll see when you get that free 5-year case study from Patrick that was the average. About $338,000 of assets converted per seminar. 30 events times $350,000 of assets converted equals $10.5 million. There's your franchise. There is your success formula. Stick around, because after the break, we're going to talk to seminar master himself, Matt Dickin, and he's going to share a lot of his secrets on what he does to maximize his seminar production. I'm Mark Gaffney, and this is By the Numbers.
You're watching the Accelerate Marketing Zone, powered by RME 360. Welcome to the Accelerate Marketing Zone Spotlight with Matt Dickin.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the RME Studios. We have a very special guest on the phone right now. His name is Matt Dickin. Matt is, as you know, a best-selling author, television talk show host, radio host. He is a top 20 producer at Advisors Excel. I'm also accompanied by George Villar, the founder of RME, and we got a ton of questions for you, Matt. Before I get started, I always like to tell a little story about you. You know, we had the opportunity to first meet in San Diego in 2008. We've been working together since then. But I always like to share with advisors a cool little thing that you told me, and it really has come to fruition. You said, Mark, somebody's going to dominate my market. Why shouldn't it be me? And I like to spread this word, Matt, because, you know, you have achieved that sort of dominance in your respective marketplace through seminars, through radio, through television, through direct mail, through digital strategy. But for today, we're going to talk about seminars because it's been the foundation of the marketing at your practice. So Matt, let me ask you this. Why do you do financial dinner seminars?
Well, Mark, I appreciate you having me here for this event. Really the reason why we have in the past and will continue to do dinner seminars is there's really no better way to dominate your local marketplace. We have found that seminars are really the most successful and most profitable marketing that we do throughout the course of the year, and it does generate over time very consistent and predictable results for the firm. So we just haven't found a better way of doing it, and I really, quite frankly, enjoy doing them. So it's something that we'll continue to do for many years to come.
George, I know you had a lot of questions for Matt. What's your first one?
Well, one of the objections that we get from the advisors when they embrace seminar marketing, they start preoccupying themselves with things that I would say misconceptions. One of the biggest objections we have is, why do I have to have food at the event? Why can't I just have people attend that are interested in the information? And I know you've had a lot of growth in seminars in the last 5 to 7 years, and you see the social part of the food being very important. Could you explain to the AE advisors why, when they have doubts about the food cost, why it's an important part of the seminar dynamic that you do have a break bread type of session after you finish speaking?
Yeah, it's, gosh, George, I think it's a great question, and there's a lot of things that I could say about it. Why do you have food is because it's part of the recipe for a successful event. I know that there are some advisors doing some non-food events, and from what I understand, you just don't have the same consistency as far as the number of attendees that are going to come out, and it's just not as successful. You mentioned an important aspect, though, and that's the social aspect of it. We have a lot of our clients that will bring friends to our seminars, or we'll have clients that will show up for events to kind of get a refresher on information. And having the food does a lot of things for us. It allows clients and potential clients to maybe talk about the presentation. Our clients are able to confirm what it was that I spoke about, and they'll confirm that, I'm a nice guy and come into the office and the staff is polite, things of that nature. So once you spend time like that together, you've broken bread together, they're much more likely to honor the commitment of having the appointment in your office. And then obviously, when you have a successful event, hopefully you're booking a lot of appointments. The way you get them to stay and not run out the door is obviously they've got salads and dinner coming. So it's just something that's crucial to having a overall successful event. I think that, if you try and eliminate the food cost, you're going to see unpredictable results, and the event's just not going to be as successful. So I view the food cost as just kind of a cost of doing business. It's part of the recipe in order to have a successful event.
Okay.
Matt, you went into a lot of detail at the Journey in Atlanta in May of last year about seminars. One of the key things that a lot of advisors aren't doing the best job, and this is either if they're a beginner or a novice, and even some of the guys gals who have been around for a while, and that's closing technique at the seminar. So I'm going to ask you to elaborate a little bit. Obviously, when you have the food, it gives the staff time to get around those people that have put on the response sheet that they are in fact interested in a seminar. But I want you to talk for a little bit how you close up, how you get everyone prepared and open so that they in fact want to have an appointment with you and your firm.
Well, Mark, I don't think that there's necessarily any one thing that we do. It's part of the entire presentation, where through the entire event we're talking about if you need a second opinion, or if you have questions about a particular topic that I've covered. I might go over, depending on the evening, 5 to 7 different topics or subjects that might generate some interest for individuals. We'll have additional questions or concerns, and I think you have to set it up when you're done. You kind of have to set the rules as far as how your staff is going to handle the rest of the evening. So obviously we have a response sheet that those that want to have an appointment with us can check off, yes, they want to have an appointment with us. We collect that. We use that as the ticket for a door prize, which again is another way to assure that we get a response sheet from everybody. We let them know at the beginning that we'll be collecting it later, and that'll be the ticket for a gift card to come to that particular restaurant on us again and have a free dinner. And then from there, we let them know that we've got our schedule, and if you've requested an appointment, we'll come around and visit with you while we're having dinner, and then the staff will pick out a time for you to come into the office. And I actually mentioned that it's our company policy. Anybody that ever requests a second opinion or a complimentary consultation, go ahead and book the appointment here this evening. And we kind of set it up that, our schedules have a way of filling up from time to time, so we want to get something at least put on the calendar initially, and if the time that we work out or pick out this evening doesn't work for you, then someone from the staff will be contacting you in the future, and we can move it. But we really want to set the rules, and that helps your staff to where there's no pushback of, I requested an appointment, but I don't want to set anything up tonight. I think it's the job of the advisor as you're wrapping up the evening to kind of set the stage as far as what's going to happen next, so you can make sure that your staff can get around and get all the appointments set in a timely manner.
Matt, one of the things that you do very masterfully, and I have said it in a couple of your seminars, maybe it's a couple hundred of them, and you're very, very good with the response sheet. And I think this is the small hinge that swings the big door, that you tell people right off the bat on there that you're going to ask them for an appointment by the end of the night. And you're very masterful when you go through your presentation. And I'm going through this now so other advisors will do this. There are lots of check boxes on your response sheet. And you tell people if the topic at that point is mutual funds or the topic is whatever it's going to be. If you want more information, please check this box on there. And then you tell them at the end, hey, you must check one of these boxes. Either yes, I'd like a complimentary consultation. Yes, I want your book and the complimentary consultation, or no, I don't. And everyone seems to be pretty compliant with that. So I think that's something I wanted to point out as well from your seminars, that these things advisors need to do. They need to master the response sheet for their respective seminars. George, do you have another question for Matt?
Frequency. Matt, a lot of advisors that are actively marketing using seminars, by the fourth or fifth seminar, they start getting a little bit anxious. They go, George, am I saturating the area? Should I pause for 5 months? How often can I mail to the same people? My gosh, I've invited, thousands of people to my event. And why should I continue marketing to the same folks? And I know you have a 5-year track record of a continuous flow and rhythm. Why is that important for advisors to abide by?
Well, I think like you mentioned, George, a lot of times individuals will maybe send some mailers and they'll have a few programs or seminars, and then they'll kind of want to hold off on doing the next mailer until they've received some revenue or generated some profits. And I get that. I understand. You got to watch the bottom line. However, you have to consistently mail because you have to prime the pump. It takes a little while to really get into a rhythm, and obviously depending on what type of products you're offering and how long the rollover process is going to take, things like that, there is a lag from the time that you order the mailer to the time that you're actually generating revenue to the time that you're actually profitable. So you have to continuously prime that pump. You don't want to continuously, get started and then have to stop, and then get started and have to stop. You're never going to have consistent, predictable results if you're doing that. And the idea of mailing to the same people multiple times throughout the year or over the course of several years is fine. When we send a mailer, obviously everybody's pretty much industry standard. You're kind of hoping for a 1% or more response. Well, that means you've got 95 to 99% that the first time that the people got your mailer, they didn't respond. So the idea of hitting them several times throughout the year is great. Things change in people's lives, whether they might lose a job and now they've got a 401k they need to roll over, or maybe a parent passes away, or they go through a divorce, or all these different life experiences that can happen throughout the course of the year. If they continue to see your message, sometimes it's just a matter of the timing's not right. So sending mail consistently throughout the year will start to build predictability as far as how much production you're doing on a monthly basis, and it's going to make sure that you're kind of throwing out a larger net and capturing as many people as you possibly can throughout the course of the year.
Matt, I want to ask you a question, because this is going out to a lot of AE advisors. There's many of them right now that haven't adopted seminar marketing as part of their overall marketing strategy, or they've just kind of dipped their toes in the water and they're really not sure what company they want to work with yet. So how long have you been working with RME? And part two of that is, why do you use RME for all your mailers?
Well, we've been doing seminars. I guess this is our 7th year. We've been working with RME for pretty much 6 of those 7 years. And, quite candidly, I think when we first started working with RME, we did maybe what some other advisors out there try, and, you kind of do a mailer with RME, and then maybe you go to another service that's maybe a little less expensive or a little different or a little more unique. And, we were just kind of trying to play with a few different vendors and just see who had the best results. And obviously we don't do that anymore. I think consistently for the last 4.5, 5 years, maybe longer than that, 100% of our mail that we do goes through RME because, quite honestly, RME is the best. We get the consistent results. They're the most professional firm. We have the fewest issues or problems. They're not a small operation. I mean, they're a professional seminar marketing mail house. And I know that there are other places out there that claim that they can do it just as good as RME, but they really can't. And I think an analogy that you could take a look at is, why are all of us with Advisors XL? I mean, there's lots of FMOs we could all team up with. There's all kinds of different marketing organizations, but you want to do business with the best. And if you want to dominate your marketplace and you want to, be the competition in your local market, there's really no better mail house to try and partner with than RME.
Matt, thanks so much for your time today. On behalf of RME 360 and the Marketing Zone, it was absolutely great to have you. Folks, stick around because after the break, we got more great stuff to come.
You're watching the Accelerate Marketing Zone, powered by RME 360.
Hi, I'm Patrick Schartz. Many of you have seen Chris Lawson and myself at Advisors XL events all around the country. In addition to Chris and myself, we have an entire Accelerate team here dedicated to making your events a success. We're fortunate to work with over 200 Advisors XL producers month in and month out. In the 20 years we have been in business, we have been the leader in the industry. As you know, RME 360 is the originator for both the dinner seminar approach and the one-on-one concierge program. It's no secret that Advisors XL partnered with us because they know that we will deliver at a higher level than anyone in the industry. We aren't perfect, nor have we ever claimed to be, but our experience and commitment that we bring to the table will give you the best opportunity to grow your business. As you can see, our company brand has recently evolved. We're incorporating more tools and services that will make your experience with RME 360 better than ever before. Be on the lookout for new ideas from RME 360 in 2014. We will continue to stay at the forefront of this industry and will always provide you with new ideas, exceptional customer service, and a commitment to you and your practice. If you're currently working with us, thank you. We couldn't do any of this without you. If you aren't working with us, please give us a call and let us prove to you why Advisors XL has put their faith in everything that we do.
All right, everyone, welcome back. As you may or may not have already noticed, RME's gone through some very big changes lately, and I'm here with the founder so he can tell you how they've come from RME now to RME 360. George, it's an exciting story. Please tell everyone about it.
We're rebranding the company for a purpose. After 18 years, we've realized for the last 5 years that marketing is all-encompassing. To help the advisor truly market himself in his neighborhood, we have to start looking at other mediums now. Direct mail, I agree with you, is the basis of targeting the 55-plus year older and doing very effectively. But there's a lot of things that are coming into play now, and there's the media, there's social media, there's the internet. And what we're trying to accomplish is tell the advisors and our clients out there that it involves a lot more than just mail. To celebritize yourself locally, you have to use the medias wisely, maybe have a more congruent message. So 360 is an approach of ours to try to explain and coach advice and our clients into that you have to have an all-encompassing plan, a marketing mix throughout the whole year. Because, a lot of seniors now, a lot of pre-retirees and retirees and boomers are searching the internet looking for answers. And a lot of advisors don't know how to place themselves in the community so they can be found. So 360 involves not only the marketing side of it, but the coaching part. We've gathered so much information for the last 20 years. We've interviewed a lot of top producers, and the feedback that we've received has been, why don't we start communicating to our clients the amount of moving parts that are involved in being a successful marketer in your area? Why don't we start telling people what others are doing successfully, what's not working, new techniques. There's a lot of techniques that advisors are not using in the closing of the seminar. And I use the American Idol analogy. American Idol in the old days would just let you sing and prop you up, and hopefully people would vote on you and they'd push you up to be a star, a singer, a recording artist. But they never helped you with your voice. If you look at American Idol today, they're getting involved through the process of the competition and helping them in voice lessons and how to dress better. And I think that's part of the 360. There's a lot more than just presenting and marketing. There's how you market yourself throughout the entire year. And a lot of advisors do marketing, sporadically. They do a couple things for a month or two and they stop. And 360 is, no, you have to have a continuous evolving marketing plan that gets you in front of people consistently. You have a lot of competition out there. You're probably competing with 15 to 50 advisors that are targeting the same amount of people. If you have the techniques down on the marketing side and on the sales side, you're going to be able to do a lot better and create a lot better ROI. It's all about production, Mark. If your production does not increase, you're going to stop doing the marketing. But marketing shouldn't be limited to just one vehicle. It should be limited to 4 or 5, and then let them work together.
George, I'll tell you what, I personally did my first campaign with RME in 2006, and I've never looked back. And as someone who doesn't work here but knows a lot of people here and has seen what has transpired over the 8 years, I can say this. The amount of amazing people that you've brought on in these last 8 years and that I've had an opportunity to meet here has been nothing short of completely impressive. I would like to just tell everyone viewing right now that if you haven't had an opportunity to call RME or work with them, now is the time to do that. Get a hold of Patrick. Before we leave, George, any final thoughts for everyone?
Thank you, Mark. In closing, we're looking into the data. We're looking into the messaging. We're looking into the new invitations. We're looking at the topics. We're taking a deep dive into a lot of things that we discovered in the last 5 years to help you become a better marketer. And I've always said this, becoming a better marketer will allow you to become an exceptional producer. We recorded this show for Advice Excel for 3 reasons. I wanted to reach out to advisors who are already using seminar marketing as their vehicle, so maybe they can sharpen their pencil a little bit, sharpen their blade, get better at it. There's always things you can learn from us that will make you a better presenter and a better marketer. Remember, we do 800 to 1,000 seminar promotions a month. We're accumulating a lot of feedback and information that can help you be more successful. The second reason I wanted to record this show was to get the advisors who have never used seminars in the past, or who have used seminar marketing but have done it the wrong way and are not experiencing good results. We have a makeover program. If you call your AE Accelerate team here at RME, we could do a makeover of things that haven't worked for you. Maybe we could share with you some information or where you might have made some mistakes to be more successful using direct mail. And the third reason I wanted to do this show is to let advisors who have never used RME to give us a shot at giving you some guidance as to what we see are the best practices to give you a tremendous amount of attendance continuously throughout the year. Now, Advice Excel is already doing a very good job with all the other media. So I was just recently at a show in Washington, and I noticed you have radio and TV, and all that is fantastic because you need to encompass a lot more marketing vehicles to celebritize yourself in your area. What we'd want you to do is take all the content for direct mail, radio, and TV and put it together and have a congruent message that when people hear about you, they know that you're branding yourself, but at the same time that you're actively marketing yourself to get in front of them. Remember, I still believe the best prospect is the one that we bring face-to-face with you. Thank you.
Thanks, George. The RME 360 Accelerate program with Advisors Excel is the most successful seminar marketing system in the country. For more information on Accelerate, you can reach Patrick Schartz by calling him directly at 800-795-2773. His extension is 5218. or you can email him directly at patrick.schartz@rme360. I'm Bob Wilgus for the Marketing Zone, powered by RME360. Thanks for watching.